Security! Detain this man!
Just when we thought it was going to work. Alrighty then.
Oh dear. Things really don't go according to plan. But how can I save Salvador? They won't listen to me. Let's see what's in here. Documents, documents, even more documents. Ah, a magnetic strip card. It might come in handy. The opening hours of the parking lot are printed on the magnetic strip card. I've heard of parks before. It's good to know one of them is nearby. A card lock that is connected to the huge gate. It won't work without the right card.
No nuclear power! No nuclear power!
What is the meaning of this?
We demand immediate shutdown of the Indes power plants.
And what, pray, is your alternative? Half the world without electrical power?
I think that's my cue. I've already told you that the Svensson algae works and could replace Indes power plants.
You know that we are talking about an alternative to nuclear energy, don't you?
I know the algae. I know what it can do. Adjourn the conference. I can get you a specimen and be back in 3 days. Then you will see that I was right.
Adjourn the conference? Did you really say that?
Yes.
And they listened to you?
They had to. The building was surrounded, cops were tied up and locked in the toilet, and the buffet was in ruins. Just imagine, no more salmon canapes. The evening was ruined.
Time travel. All right, that's something I can imagine. But a climate conference granting concessions?
I know,
What
they're time
happened
travelers.
then?
Why does
Salvador
it have
flew
to be
to
3
South
days?
America to check on the power plant, and I came directly to you.
I was beaten up and tied up and yes, well, I know the rest.
Where I was
I
beaten
guess
up.
we are now on the way to my research station to get the algae?
Yeah, jackpot.
All right, I'll help you. On one condition. Once we have landed, you will leave all talk to me, and no more kidnappings and seizures, understood?
Promise.
No promises.
You old war horse. Never thought I'd see you around here again. Is that gray in your beard?
This is a control visit. I was worried you might steer the station into an iceberg. Good to see you, Barney. Did you tell Duva I was on my way?
He wasn't exactly happy. I hope you packed some velvet gloves.
Didn't have much time for packing.
Sounds like an interesting story. Who's your friend?
Oh, right. May I introduce Princess Leia?
Huh? What are you talking about? My name is Faye.
Lovely.
Faye,
You
Princess
chose an
Leia.
interesting time for your visit. Duva and I scheduled a presentation for business investors today and tomorrow.
What about the National Research Funds?
You haven't heard yet? I thought Duva had told you at least that much. The research funds were canceled.
What?
Bent, that's a disaster.
Indeed, it would mean the end of my work. It has all been for nothing.
Not necessarily. I have a couple of investors on the hook. Just yesterday, a real star accepted.
We must talk to them.
Elon Musk.
First, you must get through the health check. And afterwards, wrapping this thing up will be a piece of cake. This will be an exciting day. Trust me.
Trust me. Chapter 5, Atlas, Part 1. Alright, well, we're halfway through the game now. How long have we been streaming?
There, Bent. That's it. I'm done.
Fine. Is everything all right, Doc?
You could say so. For someone with your medical record, everything is fine. Retirement agrees with you.
Ah. My retirement was a nightmare.
Was a nightmare? Don't tell me you're working again. If so, I have to advise strongly against it.
Let's just say that my life makes sense again, and I owe that to Faye here.
Ah, I see. And here I thought you were trying to save the world again.
Retirement was the best that could happen to me. I can go fishing as much as I want to. I can read many interesting books. And I have interesting talks with my shrink every week.
That sounds much better than working your guts out and spending weeks in the hospital now, doesn't it?
You think? Let's talk later, or we will be late for the presentation.
Right. It's your turn now, Miss Faye. Do you have any illnesses I should know about?
That's none of your business.
Oh, it's very much my business. The decision on whether or not you will be allowed on the rig is based on my expert opinion.
Well, I'll stay here then. I didn't travel 500 years to have myself cut open.
Excuse me, I don't think I understand.
Faye, you can trust the doc. He knows what he's doing.
All right. But no hot coals. And no saws. You hear me?
Promise. Bent, if you would wait outside, please. This might take a while, I'm afraid.
Yes, Bent, just go. I'll catch up with you. I can handle this charlatan by myself.
Charlatan? What?
Doc, I need a stamped certificate or Barney won't let me attend the presentation.
You will get it as soon as I've finished examining your friend.
Hey, that's too bright.
Will you please refrain from squeezing your eyes shut? I have to check your pupils.
No, my eyes remain shut.
This is going to take a while. If I want to be on time for the presentation, I'd better find another way. Totally dry, just like bureaucracy itself. Duva painted the upper one a long time ago, but not the lower one. I'm stealing blood from a doctor. Shouldn't it be the other way around? The mattress sags, the bed squeaks, and you are miles away from daylight. I can't stand seeing the bed anymore, even after 2 years have passed. Ah, yes, there it is. Ben Svensson, born severe depression, burnout syndrome, etc., etc. We advise against continuation of employment. Was it really only just 2 years ago? The doc already completed it. Only the seal is missing. A drastic measure, but time is short. Morbid, but it worked.
Everything peachy, Bent? Where's your companion?
She'll be a while.
That's too bad. The presentation is almost over. Do you have the health certificate?
Can't I get in without the certificate?
Well, Dr. Svensson, my responsibility is to follow the regulations, not make them.
Damnation. Here, Barney, that should be all. May I enter now?
Okay. Name's on it, stamp as well. All right, time for your big comeback. Nervous?
Should I be?
Well, it's been 2 years since you last saw your son.
Oh, nonsense. I'm not nervous.
Yes?
Could you go ahead, please? This little do-gooder needs to visit the restroom first. What? I just need to pee. I'm not nervous.
Sure, Ben, sure.
Dr. Svensson, I'm trying to be polite here. What you just told us is ripe with trivial generalizations and esoteric hocus-pocus. We know that our oil reserves will be used up one day. We are aware that we will need to find a way to fill the hole this will rip into the energy supply. We also know that some nuts will be worried about the climate whenever you try offering them workable solutions. What we don't know is why on earth we came here. What miraculous technology are you talking about when you claim to be able to solve all this planet's problems in one stroke?
Thank you for the cue, Mr. Indez. I am talking about a technology that doesn't produce emissions. One that can be replicated easily and that can be grown in every household. It is effective enough to...
Did I understand you correctly? Your miracle plant will grow in every consumer's garden?
Yes. The magic word is reproduction. A small installation that will fit on every balcony will provide enough energy for the household. It is an autonomous and ecological energy. The process is called nitrogenase.
He means hydrogenase.
The process is called hydrogenase, which means that cyanobacteria will convert light, air, and water into high-energy oxygen. The degree of efficiency of the energy output yields values around 0.08%.
What? That's wrong. It's 0.8%.
Do you want to give the lecture, Father?
Maybe we can cut this embarrassing family drama short. The question I ask myself is, what kind of business model do you have in mind? If people grow algae on their balcony like chives, what do we sell them? No one here wants to give away energy for free, right?
Yes. No. The consumer needs the technology to grow the algae and dissipate the hydrogen. Fuel cells for conversion must be bought and maintained. But, well, that's all there is to say on the business aspect of our presentation. I suggest we take a short break. Afterwards, we can jump right in with the calculations.
I would like to see this bacteria in action.
For that, after the break, we will present the blue-green algae, and then we will talk about the calculations. We will reconvene at 2 o'clock sharp. Thank you.
That was something. And where has Duva disappeared to? The least he could say was hi.
Please don't hold it against him. It's all the excitement about the presentation. And then his father appears out of the blue. He is a bit overwhelmed.
He shouldn't blame himself. He did well. I am more worried about this Indez.
Emilio Indez is a businessman. He needs to ask these kinds of questions.
No, my gut tells me that he's planning something. And I won't leave this room before I've found out exactly what it is. Do you like the presentation so far?
Oh, yes, it's very nice. I particularly liked the helicopter ride.
I was talking about the cyanobacteria. Does the technology convince you?
There is supposed to be a live presentation after the break. If that is as good as the trip here, your chances are good.
Do you expect a show?
Yes. If you can impress us, you will get our money.
It's stuck. So what do you think about the bacteria?
I think it's taking much too long. I want to see something.
Please, have a little patience. You will get to see something right after the break.
Good. I don't have all day, you know. My wife and I are expected on a whale watching tour later today, and I don't want to miss that under any circumstance.
You will not regret the wait, I promise.
We'll see.
I don't believe it. Why do the loudest fledglings in the world have to live next to this window? As long as they are making all that ruckus, I won't understand a single damned word. I don't believe it. Why do the loudest It's stuck. I only see one way to reach it.
Do you want to climb on that chair?
Yes. Why do you ask?
Well, I thought you were a gentleman, a man with distinction, someone I and my husband would have liked to support financially.
Even a gentleman has to climb on chairs from time to time.
Please, let's not argue.
I said my mind. You do what you want with that.
Unless I want to scare off our investors, I'd better find another solution. Barney, can I ask you something?
Sure, shoot.
What is Indez doing here?
He was at the climate conference in Oslo. I guess that's where he heard about our research. In any case, he called me right after the conference to make an appointment.
This man is one of the biggest polluters on the planet.
I know, but if he's our only investor in the end,
then we will be selling our souls to the devil.
Bent, I know you don't like to hear this, but I can't stress it enough. Sometimes you have to compromise if you want to do good.
Who are those two at the table over there?
Mr. and Mrs. Wagner, from Wagner & Wagner, in Vancouver.
They came all the way from Canada?
Not quite. They were on vacation at a fjord when they heard about the presentation.
Well, I hope they don't see this as a day trip. The last thing we need is tourists.
What we need are people with money, and those two have money to burn. So, please, be nice to them.
They are on vacation.
Who is the man in the white outfit?
That's Saeed Janzir. He is the chief accountant of one of the biggest oil tycoons in the Middle East.
Just an accountant? How much say can an accountant possibly have?
His boss wanted to come himself at first, but he had to cancel on short notice. Bent, times are tough. Beggars can't be choosers.
Just great. Who is the man in the yellow vest and tie?
His name is Mike Zemft. He's doing an internship with us.
Oh? Is he any good?
Hard to tell. He just walks around most of the time, taking notes. If I didn't know better, I'd say he's doing research for a novel.
Sure. Who would want to write a story about guys like us?
Good point. But you know as well as I that crazy people can be found everywhere.
I better get on with things.
Good luck.
What do you think about the presentation, Mr. Indez? Do you think this blue-green algae is a good investment?
This cabbage? No way. But I could have told you that before.
If you already knew that, why are you here?
I came here to dispose of a nuisance. A nuisance as small as an ant, but as persistent as a thorn in my side, and as presumptuous as a fat Norwegian who sticks his nose into things that are none of his business.
Go on, don't mind me.
What nuisance are you talking about?
I will tell you in private.
Do you like pistachios? There you are. Good.
Mr. Indez, please don't turn around. We are being watched.
These Norwegians. Impossible.
Darn, they stopped talking. On with it. Ha, that fits perfectly. The Philosopher's Stone, a bottle opener on a pointer.
Are you worried the algae could destroy the energy market?
If a flower power energy everyone could grow on his balcony really existed, then yes, I would be worried. But this cabbage couldn't supply enough energy for a toaster. I'm just worried that these idiots in Oslo might see it differently.
And what do you plan to do about it?
What every good businessman would do. I'm going to buy it. I will put one specimen on my shelf, and I'll dump the rest into the ocean. That's where algae belong, after all. Bon voyage, Dr. Svensson. Arrivederci, Echo Power. And the best thing is, as long as no one else is interested in it, I will get it at a bargain price.
The pig.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the break is over. If you would be so kind to return to your seats. We will commence live presentation of our technology now. As you can see, our assistants provided some algae specimen. Dr. Svensson, if you would.
Of course.
He means me.
Let me do it. I worked on that technology for 30 years. I know how to get the maximum possible result.
Well then, proceed.